Its load of heroes had a hero's welcome, and how they deserved it. Everton brought the cup back to Merseyside. The cheers made it like Wembley all over again. Onto the steps of St George's Hall, the players brought the cup. There are cups galore in soccer these days, but they are mentioned by their name: World Cup, European Cup, and so on. Only this one, the most coveted trophy in the whole of sport, is known as the Cup.
Alan Ball was practicing today with his new colleagues at Belfield, the Everton training ground.
My son David was 8 years old and he loved Alan Ball. Alan Ball was part of our family. It came on the radio. Everton had sold Alan Ball to Arsenal.
Alan Ball had ceased to be the player he was with Everton.
David was devastated. He asked for some money and he shot out the house to phone Harry Catterick, who was the Everton manager. Not many 8-year-olds would think about doing that.
We had an offer near enough to $250,000, and I felt that this was good business.
I need to speak to Mr. Catterick. Tell him I'm going to have a rubbish Christmas because he's ruined my life. You can't sell Alan Ball. He's brilliant.
It was a shock. I was stunned, really. And I just can't say anything more about it because I had no more feelings about it.
Never go back to Goodison Park. I'm going to support Arsenal and we will never win anything ever again.
And I was kind of right, because we never, for nearly 15 years.
In the 70s, we nearly won trophies. We came close. It wasn't to be.
Mike Lyons on the left, the captain of Everton.
We were unfortunate, especially when we got robbed by Clive Thomas.
2-2, a couple of minutes left. Brian Hamilton, he scores one, and the referee disallows it.
In the middle, there are three waiting. Mackenzie Hamilton! Hamilton's got the touch. And Everton incredibly. Or are they in front?
He said, obviously, handball. Said to the press, he disallowed the goal because it was an infringement of the rules of the Football Association. The linesman who was on duty that day, he actually said that Clive Thomas come in and said, listen lads, we better get our story straight about this one. And I think he robbed us. We'd had many occasions like that where we'd let ourselves down, and I think on the day we let ourselves down again.
The customary negotiations complete, Howard Kendall was introduced as Everton's new manager, to the obvious delight of the club directors who sat with him.
I think it's fair to say that Everton Football Club demands success, and I have been appointed today, and very happy to be appointed today, to bring success to Everton Football Club as soon as possible.
Everton have in Howard Kendall a very clear link with the kind of success the club is so anxious to achieve. He was, after all, a player in the last Everton side to win the league championship. And that, according to the club chairman, Mr. Philip Carter, is now the...
Britain has swung decisively to the Conservatives in the general election, and later today, Mrs. Thatcher will become Prime Minister.
Where there is discord, may we bring harmony.
For the first time in mainland Britain, CS gas was fired at the rioters.
To get to Everton in the first place, I didn't have any transport because I didn't drive. The place was on fire. Brilliant. They set the city on fire for me. I wonder if they do this with every player. And then we actually got to the ground and I spoke to Howard and he said, right, we'll go out now. I said, where to? I'll go out and get pissed. I said, well, I don't drink, Howard. And then you could see the realisation in his face saying, oh shit, what have we signed?
And where there is despair, may we bring hope.
They brought chaos and they brought heroin.
She made redundant all the customs and excise people from Liverpool docks.
You know, all of a sudden, our streets were flooded with a drug that was known at the time called smack.
The area is known locally as Smack City.
No one really knew what it was. Eventually, smack was, people found out it was heroin.
That echoes back through society. And your relationship with your parents, your siblings, your partner, your children, completely shattered. And it took me decades, genuinely decades.
Well, now, Liverpool. The left-wing Labour Council is defying the government spending targets and says it's determined to spend £30 million extra on council jobs and services. They're threatening to go deliberately into the red, which will be illegal. The council, which has just been re-elected with an increased majority, maintain the city's problems can be solved only by massive public spending.
Do you believe in overthrowing the present government?
Of course I believe in overthrowing the present government. The people of the city of Liverpool understand entirely where our position is. We're about making sure we get the money to stop the city declining.
When one or two managers might have stood back and waited for a couple of months, you've come in and brought in 7 new players.
We were all called to the training ground at Belfield to report the signing of Alan Bailey, who was a very, very recognisable player. We thought he was a good player or a bad player. He had the long blonde hair.
Good for a commentator.
And having done the interview with Alan Bailey, Howard said to the gathered press, I've got a bit of a surprise for you because I've made another signing today. And in walked Alan Ainscough. And if there were 12 journalists in the room, Howard looked at us to say, look who I've got. And we all thought, it might be Alan Kirbishley. Who is it? No, I tell you, none of us knew who it was.
Are you happy with the quality of player that you've brought here?
I'm very happy, yeah.
We called them the Magnificent Seven, I think it was.
You know, when they put the Royal Blue jersey on, I think the crowd will look forward to seeing this new team.
Magnificent Seven. We were far from magnificent, in all fairness. They were all good pros, but sometimes you need more to be an Everton player. You have to be near enough for Scouser to play for Everton. Near enough. If your attitude's not good, the people don't want you. It's a harsh, unforgiving place, but it's still got a real big heart. It don't suffer fools gladly, and it don't back down from anybody.
Are we rolling? Well, I'll natter to you, Howard and Cal.
Howard comes in, he brought in Alan Bailey, Mick Ferguson, part of the Magnificent Seven. I'm going further and further down the pecking order here. I don't think there's anything for me. Maybe it was time for me to move on.
Heath has pushed forward. Shot! Oh, my goodness!
And I think that was a goal that catapulted me into everybody's thoughts. In the Northwest, there's a kick-off programme. Somebody said to me, they want you in the studio, talk about the Tottenham goal and everything else. It's been awarded goal of the season. So I'm thinking, brilliant. This is goal of the season. I got a lovely bit of crystal for the mantelpiece. I went in, showed me the goal, talked about the goal, said you've won goal of the season, and they presented me with a tea towel. A tea towel with kick-off goal of the season.
It's like a fridge in here, isn't it? We were going through bad times on numerous occasions. I thought I did not just okay, but really well. But he dropped me for the next game. I just said, look, I'm sorry, but I want to play. So he put me on the transfer list, and as far as I know, I'm still on it.
Liverpool play at Goodison Park against Everton. Everton and Liverpool have played each other.
A mate of mine who went to the match with us, we were in the car and we were driving along, and came on the radio that we'd got this fella from Blackburn called Glenn Keely, and he was going to play, and we looked at each other, you never know, he might be all right.
Glenn Keely, on loan to Everton from Blackburn, plays his first senior match of the season.
He's brought Glenn in thinking that I wasn't good enough.
And we'd seen him in training and we thought, I'm not sure. And to throw him into that game, this is a risk.
Keely could get caught here, oh, he's pulled it back. And is that the goal? Scoring opportunity denied. Does Keely have to go on?
It lasted about 20 minutes, I think.
And on his debut for Everton, Glenn Keely, on loan from Blackburn Rovers, is sent on.
We were up against it 11 against 11, but 11 against 10, no chance.
Rush. Deflection. Has taken it in. And put in by Lance, so he might score now. He has.
I'm sat in the stand with Mark Higgins, who was unfit, and Brian LeBone. The three of us within about 3 or 4 seats of each other. I'm just keep looking at Brian and Brian looking at me, and I'm thinking, he must think I'm really crap. If I can't get into this side, he must be thinking, what are you still doing here, son? If you can't get in that side.
Ian Rush, can he score his fourth? Yes! 5-0.
Get yourself home, lock the door, see you Monday.
Wasn't the main stand, and we made half time. I've had enough. Just went. I stayed. My mate went down, and he wouldn't let him out. He said, "Let me out, I'll smash the door down." No, not let me out. So we had to go up into the kitchen somewhere and got out. Got out.
There you go. How's the weight? If you needed any push to make changes to a team, it's a 5-0 home defeat by the enemy. He was obviously looking around, see what other options he's got. It was a big turning point for me and for the club. That was my in. Challenge accepted.
God, that's tight. There you go. My first contract at Everton Football Club. The phone goes. My mum shouts up, "It's for you, Derek." "Who is it, Mum?" She went, "Howard Kendall." "Who's he?" You could have given me a blank contract, I would have signed it. And you wonder how thick players' contracts are now. Look at that. It says that I've signed for Everton for £125 a week.
Over to Bolton's ground, where Manchester United, playing left to right, met Everton and all Lancashire semi-final. 12 minutes from time, an Everton pass found Colin Harvey, and he found the net. So, by the only goal of the match, Everton won their place in the final.
I know a lot of the boys in that era coming through Everton's ranks will always put Colin Harvey right up there as one of the best coaches they've ever worked with.
When I was growing up, I wanted to play for Everton. And what you end up doing it, which is, it's your dream come true, and it's something you've always wanted, and all of a sudden there you are on the pitch there, in front of 60,000, watched by your dad and your granddad and all those people.
When I think of Everton, I always think of Colin. That is Everton in a nutshell.
As well as training with the first team, Colin had me back sometimes 3 afternoons a week, working with the experienced players who weren't playing regular first team football. To this day, I'll always top my hat to Colin because he was fantastic.
You know, he pulled me one day and said, I think you've got a chance. He said, if I didn't think you had the chance, you could go home in the afternoon and play snooker with the rest of the boys or whatever. He said, but I'll have you in most afternoons.
I was there to try and improve them.
But in the early days, wow, his temper was ferocious. We were away at Derby County, we were winning 3-0. Went out the second half, as sometimes it happens. We got 2 lacks. He came back and drew 3-3. Well, we know what's coming.
I did let them have it, like.
Absolutely erupts, goes round everybody, tearing the strip off everybody. And we had Gary Stanley at the time.
He had this wonderful head of hair.
He's hammering him because he's the first player. You should be setting the example. Baba, you were awful. Bum, bum, bum. OK, so we ran over. So the boys slowly but surely get undressed and go towards the shower. And Gary Stanley, in his Cockney accent, shouts out, has anybody got any conditioner for my hair?
Conditioner?
Well, at that point, Colin was in like a flash. Conditioner, conditioner, that's all you're about, conditioner, looking about your hair and everything else. We've just drawn the game 3-3.
As the final whistle goes, and the 129th Merseyside derby won conclusively by Liverpool by 3-0.
I had certain standards, you know. I'd set them for myself when I was a player. You know, every day you give 100%, not every Saturday. Every day was a winning post. So I expected the same off them, and if they didn't give it, I give them full barrel.
A quick comment from you, Ian?
Well, it was men against boys. I mean, you know, Liverpool were too good for them, too strong for them, and very disappointing Everton side.
We went to the Tiger in Liverpool, and we sat there having a drink, and it was quite busy. And we sat in this corner, and we had a couple of drinks, and then he went, I've had it, 3-0, and they've murdered us. So I said, no, just battle it out. And he went, all right, if you come in and work with us as well. So on the Monday morning, he announced it to the squad.
Kendall and Harvey, the players from the 60s, are now combining to assert Everton in the face of Liverpool's endless success.
When Colin Harvey was promoted to the first team staff, having schooled so many of the young players, that was the turning point. But it didn't seem like it at the time because there were more difficult weeks still to come.
Phone went, Howard Kendall here, about bloody time. He come back brilliantly. He went, what I've heard about you, I'm looking to find you in. And then I thought, he'll do for me. He said, fancy coming to Everton Football Club? I said, yeah. He said, right, get in the car and get to Goodison Park.
Ladies and gents, the great
good pal of mine, Neil Whitmore, we'd have a dinner that night to celebrate. Had a pint of lager straight away, got the red wine out, brandy after that. Woke up the next morning, I'm not in great nick. Shower, eye drops in, polo mints, clove of garlic to get the garlic in instead of booze. Get to Belfield, meet the lads, you know. A few of them are looking at me because I'm not looking great. Little five-a-side. I'm hopeless. The lads are looking around. Who we signed here? Sprint session, which are called doggies. Howard says, you run with me, son. So I thought, oh, great. Thank God for that. Laps me. Christ. Colin Harvey comes, go and see him. He wants to see a manager. I goes in, I goes, listen, Howard, I've got to apologise. I told him the story. Neil Whitmore, I told him about all the drink. That will never happen again. I'm embarrassed. I do apologise. And he looks at me, do you like a drink, lad? And I said, yeah, I do. He said, you've got a great chance at this football club. Out. He's just said to me, I've got faith in you. I'd have run through a brick wall for him.
we talked to Wolves manager, I would ask him about Andy Gray, and he went, Howard, don't take him, his knees and knackered.
What Wolves did in those days, it wasn't quite as slick as it is now. They gave me my medical records. They were about that thick. And I thought, I can't take this up to Everton. I said, they'll never bloody sign me. And I had a big open fire in the house at the time. And the ones that I thought might affect my signing, I threw in the fire. So I ended up going up with a bunch of medical files this size, and I gave them They went, I could have sworn that there would be more than this. I said, listen, Doc, popular misconception, honestly. I've not had as many injuries as you think I have.
Everybody knew who Andy Gray was. Villa and Wolves and Scotland. So he had a reputation. Oh, he's a big-time Charlie, you know, he's one player of the year, a young player of the year, this, that, other things. But no, he wasn't. No airs and graces about him, just one of the boys from the word go.
Did a shout in your running?
He came in. He's loud.
What? Sack a juggler.
But a winner.
Open arms. Come on in, Andy. You know, maybe that's what we just need. And he would tell you that anyway. Your saviour's here.
The day or the week that I signed for Everton, I wasn't sure if I could still do it. What I didn't realise is what kind of state the club was in at that particular time.
Howard Kendall is one man who will be glad to see the end of 1983.
There were petitions out. Kendall must go. Signed by thousands and thousands of Evertonians.
That was a really tough time. The pressure was building. And the football was poor. Cannot see us getting out. I can't see where this is going to change. It just wasn't happening for us. We are struggling. You should read your names out. Number 1, Neville Southall, and there'd be like maybe a ripple of applause. Number 2, Gary Stevens. And we always used to laugh about it because at the time, Adrien was having a hard time. He'd come from it was 750 grand. And as soon as he got to number 8, what inch he was at that time, we'd all kind of look round and it was boo, boo, boo.
Well, it wasn't exactly an endorsement, shall we say, from the crowd. They were disappointed, and they let me know. They'd probably read that they were getting somebody who was going to come in and transform this team for them, and I wasn't that guy.
Every now and again, at regular intervals, Howard would call us all together and take us for a Chinese in the afternoon.
A lot of truths sought in those afternoons.
There was no holding back when somebody was going to let you know that they didn't think you were doing what the group needed or you weren't doing what the coaches wanted. People were going to let you know.
I've got a problem with you doing this, this and this. You can say, OK, well, let's sort that out.
And I think that was the beauty of the group. I don't think anybody took it personal, because if you did, it was probably the wrong group to be in.
You know, the next game after one of those Chinese, we went out and we played and won.
Mix 1, cue Harry.
Well, our action begins with tonight's Milk Cup quarter-final.
Christmas, New Year of 83 till the end of January 84, we played 3 massive games. One was Birmingham City away in a league game. Howard said, today, if it doesn't happen, I'm going to have to make massive changes. There's going to be a clear out. We won the game.
The game at Victoria Grounds when we beat Stoke. And I always remember Howard, he opened the slats in all these windows.
And the noise that was coming through there. Hear that? Going to let them down?
Go and win it for them. And that was it. And we went out and won the game.
And the third big game is obviously the one everyone talks about.
Third Division Oxford United against First Division Everton. You must have been wondering tonight what might hit them.
Oh, and goal!
If there's ever a player who means more to Evertonians than any other who never played for Everton, then Kevin Brock is probably that man, although Adrien Heath actually still had an awful lot to do.
Reedy's working him so hard, Kevin Brock, that he just doesn't see him there.
Adrien Heath in, and he scored. Everton are back in it, given away by Kevin Brock.
Well, I think Adrian's goal that night saved a lot of us, not just Howard. I think it saved a lot of the players as well.
Oxford United 1, Everton 1.
We needed a spark, and I thought Reedy provided the spark before the Oxford game. Reedy sort of pushed us as a team forward and went to press the ball.
Reedy was on, I don't like tracking back. He said, what am I doing? Running back into the back four. I said, well, don't. I said, go to the ball and let the back four look after the player who's making the run.
Cole, brilliant that, you know, where you've got me in that position.
When teams get negative, they tend to drop deeper and deeper and deeper. And what he did was go, well, we're not having this, we're going to go this way. So his positive influence actually changed the way we played.
Have the good times come back to Goodison Park? Evertonians dream of reaching Wembley, where Liverpool await.
The only one person we could ever miss in our team was Sheeds. Sheeds to me was like Messi or Maradona.
He was playing centre midfield for Liverpool reserves, and he was a really good footballer, you know, lovely left foot. I said to Howard, come and have a look at him. Yeah, he's got talent, he said, but his work rate isn't the best, is it?
And I said, Mr. Kendall, I always try. If you play me in your first team, I'll run around for you.
It's gone in, goal given, and they've run to Sheedy.
If you're rolling, Thames, we're going to go ahead with the Kevin Richardson interview now.
Richard was another really, really important member of the team. He had a problem with his hand, whether he had a broken wrist or a fracture in his hand.
Only out from Brenner as far as Richardson, 2-0.
And then they had a scramble in the goal mouth, and Richards handballed it.
With the ball. Santos lost it, short. Villa feel there was a handball.
Are we rolling now?
We like Kevin Richardson for the interview. Go on, Richard, on you go. Go on you go. I said, but don't say you handballed it, or whatever you do, don't tell me I handballed it. You can see him thinking, but I did.
I was a bag of nerves. The incident at the end, the scramble, just to get your version of it. I'm not putting you on the spot. And I went, what was your verdict there?
No. No, it wasn't. It certainly wasn't a handball.
No, that's right in front of us. I think it's when it crosses.
And all you could see was this big white cast coming in.
So there was no actual contact made?
No.
Most important people for us was Harper and Richardson.
Towards Heath, great chance for Alan Harper inside the penalty area, 1-1. Alan Harper, the substitute, has equalised.
Shit. 2, 3, 4. Alan could play any position on the pitch and play it well, and so could Kevin Richardson.
They come in, they did a job, they went out.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Must have saved millions of pounds. Without them two, we wouldn't have won anything.
10, 11, 12. Mainly 12. And the both of us would get in early just to knock on the door and have a go at Howard why we're not playing.
Howard was a gaffer. He would just say the team is A, B and C, and that would be it.
He was a ruthless man.
You'll have to be very quick. Yes. Because we've got a flight to catch.
Yes. Can we test your voices, please?
Yes, I've just tested mine, I think.
But a good manager.
In our hearts, we knew that we wouldn't be going anywhere because we knew there was something a little bit special coming.
Everyone from around here remembers this match, March the 25th, 1984, when Everton played Liverpool at Wembley for the Milk Cup.
Thousands of Merseyside soccer fans have begun the big trek to Wembley for tomorrow's Milk Cup final.
Football's got to do this, you know. Saturday afternoon might be the only outing a lad gets who's on his own.
If you're out of work in Liverpool and you haven't got a trade and you haven't got a skill, and all you got is the football.
It's calculated that 100,000 jobs and millions in rates have left Liverpool in the last 10 years.
Today, at Liverpool's job centres, long queues outside were predictable in a city where youth unemployment has reached 90% in some areas.
My dad couldn't get a job. Who's had all these years and had all these qualifications, and so nobody was giving me a job.
What's happening now at London in Wembley is ours, and nobody can take it away from us, can they?
People begged, stole, borrowed, hitchhiked, walked if they had to get, not only get the ticket, but to get down to Wembley. I remember passing the Luton box stand. The back was zipped up, and there was a three-piece suite with reds and blues sitting with a beer in hand, waving at people going as I went past him.
End-to-end so far, 6 minutes gone, no goals. Everton on the break, Heath against Grobbelaar. Heath has beaten Grobbelaar, Heath shoots, Hansen has surely handled it. And what's the referee going to say about that?
It's the worst decision you've ever seen in the football field. Merseyside is here for the world to see.
That's the one. All the players together.
I think Michelle Carrot's coming back. Oh, super. How many people have come here?
With the replay, I remember coming out that day, and I was walking down the stairs with my head in my hands just going, please, Lord, I've had enough. I have been through enough. Some fella tapped me on the arm. He said, lad, get your head out of your hands, because we're coming back. He said, look at the team, Southall, Lee, Sharp, Sheedy, Trevor Stephen.
Me? In my first training session there, the ball arrived at him rather awkwardly, with just consummate ease. He just dealt with it as if it was part of his body. He was almost balletic. I'm telling you now, if he ran through a puddle, he wouldn't make a ripple.
Go up and talk to Howard, walked up the stairs, had a look around. I could dream about what could be. Literally whatever he offered me, I was coming to Everton. I was totally convinced.
One of the frightening things really is that my note-taking preparation for games is very much the same today as it was then.
There is a goal that I scored for Everton on our cup run that gets talked about and mentioned to me more than any goal I've scored.
Crikey, the famous Andy Gray half-volleyed header at Notts County in the FA Cup.
It was there in front of me, and I didn't think I could reach it with my foot, so I dived at it, and I managed to get a half-volley header into the corner.
And Sheedy takes, and Andy Gray has scored from a virtually horizontal position.
One of the great things when I played for Everton was the team spirit, so I think, Bales, you should come and sit up. Sit up. Come on. Come on.
The Nash, he's as funny a lad as I've seen without knowing it.
He comes in the dressing room and goes, hey, I've had this guy on from South Africa. He wants to start like one of these cricket circus over there, but with football in South Africa. So Jim Arnold, who was one of the goalkeepers, pulled paper down. John, it's all right about, going over there for the money, but what about the apartheid? And Bales goes, no problem, we get a two-bedroom one.
My favourite away game ever. We don't beat Southampton. None of those things, not winning the cup, not winning the league, not going in the Cup Winners' Cup, none of those things happen.
The energy from the supporters.
We're all hanging out the windows, and it's just a sea of blue.
A sea of blue and white.
We've got to win this game for these people.
And Everton with their captain, Kevin Radcliffe.
It's amazing how sort of superstitious players are.
Oh, God. How small are they?
You know, you get to the ground, you go for your kit. I've gone for my shorts, and they're not my shorts. They may be a 36, but this is towards the end of the season. They're now a 30. By the time they've been washed, they have shrunk to maybe a thong. And I was so uncomfortable, my thighs. Me, Sharpie, Reedy. I mean, we had the bigger of the arses, other than, you know, Nev. But Nev had his own kit anyway. You weren't going to pinch his shorts, were you?
No.
Well, I said, somebody's got me shorts, who's got me shorts? And nobody had done up.
Foul in the back on Worthington by Kevin Ratcliffe and Booking.
I just didn't feel comfortable.
Rattus, is there any flipping chance of you getting your arse in gear here?
I don't feel right. It's my shorts.
I said, you what?
You what?
He says, these shorts, they're too small. He said, you got a pair of the baggy ones.
I said, somebody's got me shorts.
I said, you want to swap shorts? He went, yeah. I said, all right.
So he whips his shorts off and throws them at me. He said, there, put them ones on then.
And we swapped shorts at half-time in the FA Cup semi-final.
That was all right then.
They're the ones Rats wouldn't get into. He definitely couldn't now.
I take a free kick out wide.
It was a poor free kick. I was just about to give Reedy a bollocking.
And it's hit!
And I've never heard anything or seen scenes like it.
I was just running around the pitch with me jumping over me head going, oh my God.
I know it meant a lot to the supporters. Trust me, it meant so much to us as a group of players because we were going to another final.
The dressing rooms were literally there, like windows in a house. So you could literally open them in the dressing room, stick your head out. The scouse head popped through. And it's like that spraying thing, lads like that, with the mouth open.
I think I would give me a bollocking for that again. Don't be you giving us champagne, we want that on the way back.
Memories. Wow. Oh. Hey. The famous cup final songs.
The boys in blue.
But this year, Everton, the boys in blue, have been doing their stuff. They feel they've got a superior product. Well, let's see what we make of it.
Superior product. I purged myself yet again.
What's Kingy got on, by the way?
He's gone clay pigeon shooting.
I know.
That's the worst football song I've ever heard, I think.
No wonder I can't remember it. The boys are blue. I don't even know how it goes. The boys are blue. Was I on it?
I think it was the following year when we went down to do the Here We Go. We're all singing there away and have a break, boys. And the producer walked over to me and said, you keep singing, son, but can turn your mic off because you can't sing.
Me and Reedy had this thing where he always slept nearest the window. I slept nearest the door. So if the TV was on his side, he had to turn the TV over. If the tea and coffee was on mine, I had to make the tea and coffee. This particular night, everything's on my side.
And I'm one of them who goes to sleep with the TV on.
About 3:30, 4 o'clock, what's up, what's up? I thought there was, you know, fire alarm or something.
Woke up as an inch. Turn the telly off, it's on your side. You idiot.
So I had to get out, turn the TV off. 2 seconds later, he's snoring, and I stayed awake then until, of course, now I've got the FA Cup final day on my mind and I can't get it out. So I didn't sleep from about 3:30 of the night.
The FA Cup final was an occasion.
Who will be raising the FA Cup in triumph this year? Will it be the captain of Everton, or will it be the Watford captain?
This was when, on a Saturday, it started at like 7 in the morning.
Good morning. The World of Sport caravan has come to rest at Wembley, and I bid you a very warm welcome to our Cup Final special.
I can remember TV cameras being around the hotel, and there's no chance of it happening today.
Good morning, David.
Hi, Sunshine, OK?
Fine, thanks.
Who's this lunatic?
Bloody Freddie Starr's down there. How are you, John, all right? Is that your wife?
Yeah. We've had a lovely evening together.
How important is it for the team to have someone like John as a joker in the dressing room?
He's going to sit down there and see him for a couple of years when he comes home, when he comes getting married.
Oh, heavy mode. They're the boys that win the cup and for this, and spit on the floor and all hooligan and they get arrested up the back load.
That was the FA Cup for you.
I've got it.
They know what job they've got to do today.
Anyone see me pants? Everyone wanted to sit by the window, you know, because you want to see the fans and all even and all that.
And all we could see was just a sea of blue.
Fan banging on the bus, go, yeah, go on.
And the look on their faces, grown men.
Lads were on their knees, giving it the, you know.
Just look what this game of football does to people, eh?
See, they've been in the shadow of Liverpool so long that they're so desperate for success.
These guys have been waiting years for that.
There's a story of one chap who was queuing this week. It was asked how long he'd been queuing, and he said 14 years. That's right.
Going to work week in, week out, Liverpool have won another title, Liverpool have won this, Liverpool have won that.
Well, when you think of the thousands of kids in Liverpool who don't have jobs,
and I think you have to
really
think that.
desperate.
So, yeah, it was time for that release.
Don't let them down.
Could reduce you to tears almost to see just what it means to you.
It was mind-blowing.
It's, you can't describe it. It's like having an orgasm.
You what? What?
Not really like orgasm, but, you know, it's getting close.
That one there's the one. The 1984 FA Cup final shirt, and believe it or not, I did fit into that once. Worn once, washed once.
I think, really, they've got one big advantage over Watford.
What is that, then?
We see Everton have been to Wembley before.
Right. So when Watford get lost on the way there, they'll lose the game, won't they? Because it's terrible round there, all round the Wembley with the one-way system.
No, I'm
like
not.
that.
In a smart grey suit also, Howard Kendall, followed by his Everton team on the left of the pitch.
And then you've got that tunnel, and it's like a 45-degree slope, and you've got the light at the end of the tunnel, and all you can see is sky. And all of a sudden, someone gets a button and goes... I loved the old Wembley because you had that long walk across the pitch.
That old walk over that little bit of sand is the best walk in the world.
Wow. This is something all of us have dreamed of.
The cross headed half away, and Stephen Sharp. The goal for Everton by Graham Sharp.
Wow. Actually scoring in an FA Cup final at Wembley. Your parents are down watching it.
I might say it was a terrific pass to Sharpie, but to be honest, it was like a half tackle, half pass, half shot.
1-0 up, and you just never know with a cup final.
Graham Sharp waiting in the centre. And Gray is closing in here. Oh, and Sherwood didn't connect, and the goal is given. And Everton are 2-0 in the lead.
It's not what you would call one of the most classical of FA Cup final goals, but does Mr. Andrew Mullingrey care? Not a jot. Not a jot. I've just gone up and did that And I got it perfectly. It was right in between his hands, and I've just headed out his hands. I don't think it even reached the back of the net. It just says scorers, sharp and grey. It doesn't say scorers, sharp, good goal, grey, rubbish.
Victory for Everton in the FA Cup.
Man again, boys.
A memorable moment for Evertonians everywhere. Their first major trophy for 14 years.
The start of it. The FA Cup, 1984, the start of that time.
I remember going with my whole family, watching Bales and Neville and the Gaffer and Derek and Seed go right past me, like literally this far away. Everyone was giving it the big one. Dad died the next year. That's probably the last time I was ever with my family in a collective thing like that.
My first game was the Charity Shield at Wembley.
And that was it, 1-0 to Everton.
Howard said, don't worry about it. You know, nobody really knows about you. And then after the game, he said, well, they certainly will know about you now.
But I've got to say, what a signing. I mean, he was an outstanding footballer. There was a great desire to win football matches. Paul Bracewell epitomised that.
Thousands of trade unionists surged towards the town hall to cheer the Labour councillors who've promised to cut neither jobs nor services, even if this puts them outside the law.
Not even Thatcher that can ignore that weight of pressure.
And it was an amazing moment. That moment in time when you look out at all those people and you know that they're there because of all of us. We're actually taking a lead on something that was very important for everyone.
That if you want to take on 51 Labour councillors, it's not just the 51 Labour councillors that you're taking on the entire city.
It was a strange place because obviously all the political stuff was going on. Derek Hatton was in his prime. And then on the other side of it, you had this incredible explosion of music. You know, Echo and the Bunnyman, Fiction Factory, Pete Wiley, Orchestra Manoeuvres in the Dark, China Crisis. You could go out and watch these bands on a Tuesday night in front of 30, 40 people. I don't think there could have been a better place to be playing football anywhere in Britain at that particular time.
But bands in Liverpool were very, very prominent, you know, very, very part of the scene. The Farm grew up out of that era. But what they emerged through as well was that concept and idea of independence. And I think that was very, very reflective of this city, this concept and idea that you're different to everyone else. We'd gone away to Devon. I remember going and trying to get in this pub and there was a sign on the door. The sign basically said no gypsies, no Hells Angels and no Scousers. That's gospel truth. And that was the first time I sort of realised there's something different about them.
You could identify a Scouser in those days from a distance, with the music, with the trainees, with the big long quiff. The kind of clothes he wore, how we wore them. Well, Trevor Stephen and Paul Bracewell looked like they lived on a council estate somewhere in Merseyside.
This tie's not too low, is it?
Trevor was always a cool dude.
Oh, well, he had the hair, didn't he, for it? You know, he had a je ne sais quoi, didn't he? A little bit of a fashion sense.
Martin Dobson, one morning in the weight room at Burnley, pulled my socks up, first and foremost, stood me up, shoulders back, pulled the socks up, and he said, play smart, dress smart, think smart. OK.
Nev was just anything he could find. Nev's game must have been when the lecky was off when he got thrust in the morning.
I've just watched him on the TV beat Watford. I couldn't understand it. Why would they want me, like, you know?
Pat was a strange character, but he was a good player.
Good, John. Clap. In front of your face like that.
Why?
Because it sinks the cameras.
Oh.
He came from Birmingham. They had a reputation of being a tough team, Birmingham. They had some strong characters, should we say.
Birmingham. Then one morning, Ron Saunders was the manager then, and he got us all in a circle. Right, before we start, 4 or 5 of you are leaving the club today. And then he turned to me, you're going to Everton, get your stuff, go now. Oh, I didn't know where I was going. I had to get to in Liverpool. When I first met Howard, the way he shook your hand and hello and whatever, took to him straight away. I thought, geez, what a lovely man, you know. And he said, do you want to play for Everton? I said, of course I do. I heard about the rumours that Howard had gone out to buy a pass. Well, when I first signed, I was watching the game, and then the boss took me downstairs. He said, I want to introduce you to someone, John Bailey. After I got changed, ready to go to the players' lounge for a pint. Bloody hell. Hello, John. John, come here. I want you to meet someone. Shake his hand. Introduce yourself to Pat and make him feel at home. I went, you was? John went, no. I don't think I shook your hand that. No, you didn't. Did I? I kept looking over at him going, bastard, look at him, he's going to have a match yet now, you know. Did meet him in a pub, and we had a chat and a few beers, and been mates ever since. Right, now, I'll leave you to it. Can I chin him now? No. Can I chin him? All right, buddy.
It takes everybody a little while just to come to terms with who Pat is.
Kept myself to myself in the beginning.
Picked up the nickname Psycho.
I thought it was a bit daunting. But, I mean, look, Evertonians are Evertonians. If they call you something, all right, I accepted that, and I still do. But I'm not like that, really. I mean, playing-wise...
Recovered by Vanden Hauwe, who was fouled by Mulvey, and Walk and Vanden Hauwe square up.
I play to win.
Nasty as they get. I loved them, I did.
That's Vanden Hauwe.
In English football, nothing compares with this Wembley festival. That speedy left winger, Derek Temple, had a great chance and made no mistake. Not even a cup final can prevent the Goodison Park spirit invading Wembley. That Bobby ought to be playing at Twickenham.
So my wife taped the match, and she got all the kids in. And she said, yeah, who's that there? All the kids were laughing at me. They're all running around the living room. Hey!
Good evening and welcome to Match of the Day for the Merseyside derby, Liverpool v Everton.
Sharpie's derby, man.
Sharpie's derby. Went to yesterday at 12 o'clock. No ticket. So about 2:30, I'm chopped up now. So I thought, I'm not going to get a ticket. So we make comments. Yeah, 2 tickets. Kevin Lloyd gives them. So got them, you know, with the match.
The run up to the game, Howard again in his wisdom decides to bring in all these new balls that Liverpool played with. They were only one of 2 teams used these balls regularly. They were a lot lighter and they moved a lot more. So we got used to them.
They haven't won at Anfield for over 14 years.
One of Howard's remits was, look, let's try and be a better Liverpool than Liverpool are.
90 years of football history embodied in this fixture.
But we had the belief that, you know, we can beat these.
Reed. Stevens.
No, yeah, it landed roughly where I intended it to lie.
I was up against Mark Lawrenson and I thought, I ain't going to beat him in the race. But instinctively, it sat up really nice for me. And all the training that we had the week before about if you get hit the ball, especially in the volley, it'll dip.
And I just looked up like that, the ball, bang.
Stevens looking for Sharp, and he got behind Lawrenson there. Did Sharp? What a fantastic goal!
3 deads in front of me. Fuck, I'll get out the way.
An unbelievable finish from Graham Sharp. And the Evertonians have gone berserk.
So I'll just give it loads of that. I don't know why he's give it that, but I'll give it that. Good nickname, the Wimble. But that's what it was.
And the Evertonians have gone berserk. The balance of power may be shifting on Merseyside.
I remember the bin man, Neville, running off the pitch. I wanted the party right here in front of me. He just turned around, went like that, put his hat on, and ran to the halfway. I'm going, what are you doing? What if this never happens ever again? It was to happen the next year as it happened, but we didn't know that then.
We come off the pitch and thinking, right, that's it. We've arrived. The belief was also on the terracing now, you know, and I think from having been so long without winning anything and being the laughingstock, if you like, the Liverpool fans, now the supporters could see something.
We beat United 5-0. That's probably the best team performance that I've played with Everton.
Sheedy arriving with a header. It's a good one. He scored! Kevin Sheedy within 4 minutes of his return to the side. Sheedy inside the penalty area. 2-0. Absolutely marvellous goal. Stephen rifled it again. Oh, they've scored again. Adrien Heath makes it 3.
I think we hit the post and the bar 2 or 3 times. We had a goal disallowed. We could have conceivably won that game at 8 or 9.
I always remember Joe Mercer, old Joe Mercer, Everton player, come in the dressing room afterwards. You know, when people who you hold in high esteem say something, you always remember it, don't you?
Oh, marvellous finish from Gary Stevens.
And he said, I've just seen Brazil playing blue today.
He will take it. Bent in towards Sharp. It's there. 5-0 to Everton. Oh, this is...
And I thought, oof, good today.
He's a mad blue, everybody knows that.
Adrien Heath was playing absolutely out of his skin. I mean, they all were, but Inchie was brilliant.
If we went out on a Tuesday night, I guarantee at some stage we'd bump into Derek.
We were in the pub. Adrien Heath was there, his dad, John Heath, was there, a couple of others were there.
And he got to know my dad over a few years, and he'd said to my dad, I'm on Question Time next Thursday night.
It was the first time I'd been on. John Heath goes, I bet you don't mention our agent should be playing for England. And at that stage, we'd all had a few pints. I said, I bet you do. He said, I bet you don't. I said, I bet you 100 quid I do.
I thought, he's never going to get that in on Question Time.
Woke up the next day, forgot all about it completely. As the week went on, I was just building up for this, because I knew it was going to be Robin Day +4 against me.
Hello?
So they started off, and sure enough, I get the first question.
Mr. Hatton.
Derek Hatton, on this miners' dispute, so straight away I get it.
Those miners are there defending their jobs, defending their communities.
Suddenly, the programme's nearly finished. Where did that go? And the very last question in those days, you used to ask a silly question. If you could spend a weekend with someone who wasn't your family, who would it be? And all of a sudden, out of the blue, I remembered the discussion over Adrien Heath.
Derek Hatton?
Probably with Bobby Robson as the manager of England, to actually suggest to him that to ask him the question about why he keeps ignoring some of the best footballers in the land who play for Everton Football Club, including Adrien Heath,
I have to leave
the best attacking midfield player in the country.
He managed it as Derek normally does.
The Echo had it on the back page headline. It was everywhere afterwards. And sure enough, John Heath came up with the 100 quid.
I get to, I think it's December, I'm top goal scorer in the league. I get told on the Wednesday that I'm going to be playing in the next England squad. I'm feeling this is fantastic, and then lo and behold on Saturday, you know.
Straight into our first feature game then. The team leading the first division of the Cannon League, Everton, against Sheffield Wednesday.
The boos are for Marwood.
I actually didn't realise he'd hit me with such force, to be honest. I've never seen this picture before.
It looks serious for Adrien Heath.
I heard Adrien, you know, a cry of pain.
ACL, you know, crush your ligaments, and 9 months later, you still haven't played a game. I was going to miss an awful lot of great nights for the club.
And Peter Reid taking retribution.
When your teammates gets done, you try and sort of rectify it.
Not just in that game, by the way. Anytime we played against him, I think he become a target.
You know, that's the way it was in them days.
That's what we were. We looked after one another.
If you want to play, we'll play. If you want to have a scrap, we'll have a scrap.
And I remember a skirmish down at QPR once.
Howard just said, when you hit the field, look after each other, take care of each other. So it resonated with me, so.
It was that bad, it was on news at 10.
Simon Steinroth, he pulled his fist back to hit Andy Gray. In them mad moments, and I'm talking split seconds, you don't think. And I ran over and I whacked him.
I think the only two players that weren't involved were Kevin Sheedy and Neville South. I think Neville was just going, what's going on here?
You know, I got sent off. And I ended up with 2 black eyes walking off the pitch, looked like a fucking panda.
When Adrien got injured, I felt huge pressure on me. Sharp and Heath was the best front two in the country. I knew a lot of Everton fans thought, damn, that's us. We won't win it now.
Gray and Sharp won't be able to play together. Far too similar. I think that was a bit between our teeth. Right, we'll show these.
I'd worn the number 8 for 12 games. Number 8, never worn number 8 in my life. And I'm thinking, when's the next goal going to come from?
And our first match, the leaders of the First Division, Everton, against Leicester City.
Sharpie was injured. And I wore the 9. And if you're a number 9 at Everton of all clubs, it is special.
He was desperate for it. He wanted it.
Still in play. It's there at last. Andy Gray celebrates his second goal in 17 games this season. Stephen knocked on for Andy Gray. Oh, what a magnificent strike by Andy Gray. As good a goal as you wish to see.
Suddenly I've got the number 9 on. Suddenly I've got 2 goals. And off I went, and off and running.
Reach cross Gray! Fantastic goal! Stephen. Gray's there again! Oh,
People remember the pass. The Evertonians realised that it was a proper pass. Other people watch it and go, nah, he didn't mean that, but they knew I meant it.
And he puts it right on a sixpence.
Stephen away from Pickering. Yes! Another superb goal!
Now that was a goal. The ball, the finish. People will watch and remember for a long time. It was great.
The Spurs game was tagged as the league decider.
The atmosphere in the dressing room was higher than anything I'd ever known.
We're fighting for the title with them, and it's brutal. Andy Gray and myself, Graham Roberts, Paul Miller, punching, kicking, all sorts. What's the script here, Andy? I said, I've not had any problem with these before. He says, oh, I hate these two. I've had battles with them when I've been at Villa and Wolves and everything else. And I thought, what's it got to do with me? He says, just get on with it and make sure you give them my belt. And that was it. We went out the second half and it just carried on.
But I managed to smash one in with a trusty right peg. I hit this thing first time. That was the sweetest I ever hit.
I got the opportunity in the second half to kind of almost seal it. It was great because the Everton fans were at that end of White Hart Lane.
Still 17 minutes left.
Thankfully, Neville was, there to save us in the end.
Mark Falco's header somehow kept out by Neville Southall. A save that brought Ray Clements to his knees at the other end in frustration.
That's what wins you league titles.
See, the difference between people and me, I'd be disappointed if it went in. You don't expect me to make saves, right, which is fine. But I do.
He was out of this world.
Must be Verratti. Oh, what a brilliant save!
We'd have shooting practice and training. He'd trim his hands behind and he'd head things and block things and everything else, and he would laugh about it. But I tell you what, if you were struggling to score goals and he's like bouncing out and heading it out, he used to absolutely destroy you. Best in the world by a million miles.
Well, now it's the turn of league leaders Everton to show their prowess against Ipswich Town.
So we get a free kick about 22 yards out. I always used to like to get on the free kicks early to try and gain an advantage. I got to the ball early, put the ball down. I saw Paul Cooper lining his wall. The wall wasn't correctly placed, so I just put my foot through it, over the wall.
He takes and scores! Knows with the referee.
The referee back, I didn't whistle.
I get the ball back. I'm ready to replace it, and Peter Reid comes over.
So I said, what are we doing? What am I doing? I went, fair dues, yeah, all right. I said, I'll just stand here like a dummy. He says, correct.
I said, Peter, just get out the fucking way and I'll put it in the other corner.
And I went, flip off.
I could see Paul Cooper just edging slightly over to his right-hand side, and he just left a nice little space. All I had to do was get it over the wall with a bit of spin away from Paul Cooper, and I'd score. And as soon as the ball left my foot...
Sheedy again, goes for the other side. Brilliant! Absolutely brilliant!
Most Evertonians of that era, that's the moment they remember, twice taking free kick.
But what a lesson in taking free kicks by Kevin Sheedy.
Special memory for me.
Holders Everton come out to make FA Cup history by appearing in their 20th semi-final. And they'll be welcomed by some 25,000 supporters from Merseyside. Villa Park, a massive blue and white, as Evertonians express their allegiance to the side hoping to win 3 trophies.
Couldn't get going. I was hopeless. And the ball bounces the edge of the box, and that's my job to look after that. And I don't get there.
And here's Hill. Ricky Hill!
I think it was his worst performance ever as an Evertonian. I keep saying to him, why didn't you play that day? I don't.
And he battered me.
We always found a way. Great sides do.
And it's Hill again! Good save by Southall. A terrific stop.
Big hand on it. Solid as a rock, saves it. Keeps us at 1-0.
Brilliant.
Time was running out. I think there was 4 minutes left on the clock. Villa Park was a lucky ground for me.
Harper and Foster are up together. And they've been penalised.
There was not many places where I could really put it, and I just decided on his bottom left-hand corner. It wasn't the sweetest one I'd hit.
He drove one.
I think as soon as that ball went in, we knew we were going to win, and the Luton players knew they were going to lose.
And I'd had my nose broken, my eye blackened by Mick Harford, my knee was throbbing, there was aches and pains in a lot of us, and then they took Mick Harford off at half-time of extra time, and I looked to the sky and just praised and said, thank you, Seb.
Foul by Steen.
3 minutes to go, we get another free kick.
Too far for me to have a shot.
Sheedy curls it. Mountfield's there. And it's a goal. Derek Mountfield.
Black and blue hero, it says. Some big, scrawny kid with a funny moustache and a big black eye just scored the winning goal.
21 games unbeaten now, still chasing the treble. The question is who can stop Everton?
A lot of people didn't give us a chance.
Howard Kendall was tactically so aware. Kevin Richardson left, Alan Harper right, me and Brace. So it was a solid, adjustable midfield. Trevor Stephen just in front, with Sharpie up top.
Perfect.
Everton draw 0-0 away to Bayern Munich in the Cup Winners' Cup. Everton manager Howard Kendall says it's a tremendous result.
We got a great result, 0-0, so we'd had a couple of drinks. I went back to my room and got in the room and I looked and I thought, where's my bed gone? And my bed's gone. So I couldn't figure out where my bed had gone. I thought, all right. Nev, where's my bed? He said, what bed?
I just messed about a bit. And sometimes he came back and he wouldn't have a bed. And he wouldn't have anything in the room apart from my bed.
He says, just sleep anywhere. I went, I want my bed, I want my bed. So he lifted me up and threw me in the wardrobe and locked the door of the wardrobe.
He was pissed, so I just locked him in. But that's what you do with your spare stuff, isn't it?
So I'm stuck in a flipping wardrobe all night.
Do you think you'd ever been in a tunnel this narrow before? Think about it, Bayern Munich. Not very often.
I think what it was...
Too tight for them.
I mean,
Yeah.
personally, I was desperate just to get out now. Yeah, I was desperate just to get out.
I think it was about here that you started, wasn't it? Just
Yeah,
as we
come
were
on.
getting to-
Come on,
Come
boys.
on, lads.
Yeah, let's get into
It
these.
wasn't quite as nice as
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Was
No.
what saying, was it? It wasn't quite.
My dad had got me a ticket for the Park End, and I got a phone call just after school. It was my football manager from the Sunday League. I'd had a bit of an argument with him. He wanted me to play up front, and I wanted to play in the midfield, where the ball was all the time. And he went, listen, you've been picked to be a ball boy for the Bayern Munich game. He said, but are you going to play for me still? I said, I'll play wherever you want me to play. I will play wherever you want me to play. I will play wherever.
I think the crowd kicks in here, doesn't it? You know.
Who touched the sign when they went out?
Everyone.
I didn't. Ever.
You didn't? Did you not?
No. No.
Did you?
I did it against QPR.
Could you reach? Everyone was really focused on what they were going to do. And once you walked down that tunnel, it was like nothing else mattered. Nothing. The noise was unbelievable. I've never forgot it.
Down in the dressing room, we always used to have a sense of what the crowd was going to be, because you could hear them above the dressing room, walking above the dressing room and the stairs, and you're thinking, there's quite a big crowd in here.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Scared you? Yeah?
Excited scared, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that way.
Pump me up.
We got into them, you know, mentally, I think, before we started.
Physically.
Which was brilliant.
I would swap everything I ever achieved in football for that one night. Everything. Because that just said to me, this is what Everton's about. This is what the city's about.
Talking to people who were here, who had witnessed big games in Europe before, not necessarily Everton, they thought that night at Goodison was the best atmosphere. And I'm talking about lads who'd followed up in Scotland, Rangers and
wouldn't argue with
Celtic,
that.
and they said that night here was the best they've ever experienced.
The best I've experienced, I played in, well, like
You played World Cup
World
finals.
Cups.
You
World
chased
Cups.
Maradona for 50 metres.
I tell you what, I knew you were going to get it.
Couldn't catch it.
I knew you were going to get that in. I knew.
You were going in as if it was your life depended on it, as a gladiator. If you look at the game now, it should be X-rated, and anybody under 12 shouldn't be watching it.
People criticise us, Andy, for being a little bit physical. They could look after themselves. They were putting their foot in as well, so it was a real battle. I know we got a lot of criticism afterwards.
There was a couple of unfortunate accidents.
Yeah, there was.
I know, but that happens in football. You know, these things happen. That was a night for, it doesn't matter how you get it done, get it done. I lost a couple of semi-finals and I hated them. Who remembers losing semi-finalists? Nobody. Nobody remembers them. I think that night I roughed up the big boy a couple of times. And, you know, probably in the modern day I might have got sent off, but it wasn't the modern day. It was my day.
Gray. And he lashed out.
I remember that as Kevin Radcliffe 3 times. Kicking people.
Was it Kogel?
And then
Ludwig Kogel.
And I'm thinking, oh, steady on, Rats. And he got away with it 3 times.
And Radcliffe had to take drastic action.
Reedy said we've got a problem with the lad Krugel, he's causing us problems. Yeah, I caught him. I never got booked. How there was not more people booked in that game, I'm not quite sure.
Absolutely cacophony, eardrum shattering noise to that.
I thought the manager was brilliant at half-time. I thought the manager was brilliant.
You're better than them, you're stronger than them, you're fitter than them.
Get the ball in the box, glad the street end, he'll suck it in.
Yeah, true.
And that's all he said. Different sorts of tactics, but needs must.
My little claim to fame is I got an assist. Gave Gary Stevens the ball, he threw it in.
We worked quite hard at that, knowing where that ball's going to land, and you know, fortunately enough, I could put a little bit of pace on the ball as well.
Gray goes in. Shot! The perfect start to the second half. Stevens with another testing long throw back, lost it. Goal! Andy Gray!
My goodness, it erupted the place. I've never seen Goodison like that. Wow. It felt like when I went back to the halfway line that my feet weren't touching the ground, it felt like I was just like that, just walking, the noise.
Stephen takes it from Reed.
I put my hand up. I had a poor match. I couldn't contribute. I couldn't get into it. Reedy's giving me sticky, you know, about if I was going to turn up tonight and all of that. And I couldn't really hear him because there was 50,000 in the stadium, you know, but I could see his mouth was going. He wasn't very happy with what I was doing.
There wasn't too long left. Bearing in mind there was people panicking by this stage, so I'm waiting for Andy Gray to make a run. And we've passed a couple of players. I'm still waiting for him to make a run, and I've got 55,000 people shouting "Man on!"
Kevin's patience on the ball. Andy, first touch, swivels. I don't know if he's recovered from that swivel yet. And then I have got the Gladys Street looking at me. Crowd moving forward, pushing forward. The keeper just started to go down and up. Hit it.
And by God, we showed them we could play a bit.
If you talk to any Evertonian who was there that night,
who actually got in this ground that night, and you said you can take one game to the grave with you.
Yeah.
If there was 55,000, I'm getting you 50,000 would take this game with them.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be one. I'd be one. I'd be one. And that's
I think that game and that
Tears for Fears, everybody wants to rule the world at number 15. And up 18 places to 14, here we go from Everton 85. Simple Minds, don't you forget about me at 13.
Hello? Yeah? Rich? All right, mate?
So when he actually makes his entrance on the programme, make that Price is Right lot sound like a lot of Undertaker's convention.
You must have been on a different bonus than us.
Good to see you. How are you? Good to see you.
Good.
Oh, God.
I didn't want to go on. I didn't want to do the song in the first place.
No. No chance.
I wasn't travelling all the way down to London to sing a load of old shit either.
Well, we trained, finished at 12, got on the bus, first off licence, pulled over, a few beers, rehearsals.
We didn't have enough people. We had ringers on. Andy had his mate Rab.
And they were worried at that time because they said, look, lads, this is going out live. There's 15.5 million people. This is prime TV.
And the producers come up and obviously seeing the state we were in. No more drink in the green room.
I said, really?
Fair dues.
Tell Mr. Wogan, if we don't get us a couple of beers, we're not going on.
It's Everton Football Club. Here we go.
Grace nailed it. About 1 or 2 hours, Kevin Richardson.
Didn't get a close-up on that.
As only Bryce knew the words.
He fancies himself as George Michael.
They said, look, you're going to follow the cameras around, the light's going to come on. And I always remember that, and that's why obviously I've had sticks since that.
Now the head's gone now.
Camera 4, son.
It does look a bit wooden, but I'm just surprised it looked that good.
This is the original Cannon League trophy that they won in 1985. We don't think all the players totally appreciated or liked it, but it's still very special.
It's the ultimate. You are champions of England. Don't get any better.
I've got that picture there as well. I've just scored the goal against QPR. I didn't realise Peter Reid could jump that high.
It's great to be in a side where you're consistently winning.
Wow. This is why I wanted to be a footballer.
Confirmation, you are the best team in the country by some distance.
I think this is always going to be like this.
It was great with the lads of Champagne.
Possibly the best day of my life.
And the big goalie was just sat there having a cup of tea, as he usually done. Everyone else is going mental. Champagne in the bat, beer in the bat.
After that game, I actually went home and cut my grass. Needed cutting.
You see all the hoo-ha now and get the trophies, and if you look back to the 85, we've walked onto the pitch and there's just a table, like a school table in the middle of the field with the trophy and 12 medals on it.
Oh my God. Bring on, champions.
Some of the introductory words that I was saying on the night in Rotterdam of the Cup Winners' Cup final here. This is the 7th major European club final to be staged in this stadium, all handwritten now.
The final was a non-entity really, because we were always going to beat them because they weren't very good.
First 45 minutes dominated almost completely by Everton, but nothing to show for it on the score sheet.
We were hardly ever threatened, and we blew them away second half.
Oh, the back pass might come to Sharp. He's got Andy Gray in there. It's the goal! Andy Gray, the blonde bomber, who fires Everton.
It was so one-sided, it was unbelievable. It was.
I think somebody said it was 17 passes before Bristol put it through to me.
I scored in the semi-final against Bayern Munich, and no one can take that away from me.
Cross coming in, and it went all the way. And it's in there. And it's Trevor Steven. And it's the second for Everton.
I scored in the final against Rapid Vienna, and no one can take that away from me.
The only surprise to me in the whole game was that they actually scored against us.
I think they were still celebrating.
And here's Sheedy. Well, there's the answer.
The one everyone wants to see is the Cup Winners' Cup. Very proud of that one. Very proud of that one.
We've got a superb young manager, we've got a magnificent young team, and I am of the opinion there'll be a force for many a year.
And there I am fighting for an interview, and I'm hemmed in front of where the trophy is being presented. And it's like the tube in the rush hour, you're like this, and I've got the microphone, and I cannot move. And all of a sudden I feel a hand going into my pocket, and I look, and the guy looks at me, and he says, "Sorry, Jim, I need this more than you, mate."
I remember sitting with Mark Higgins right at the back of the stand, welling up when the teams came out, because that was the time that it struck home the most for me that I'd probably missed one of the great nights in the club's history. Yeah, it was a tough night, that one.
People say we celebrated too much, and maybe we did.
Saturday at Wembley, all right?
We get off the plane, 2 o'clock in the morning. Howard Kendall says, "Come on, let's all go to Chinatown." There was a major debate who went.
I wasn't out in town with Derek Hatton before anyone else says.
No. Well, sounds good though, doesn't it? We didn't do what we'd done for 2 years to blow it getting drunk 3 days before a game.
Well, you think we're all pissheads. But you don't win things and become successful at a football club if you drink at the wrong times.
That team gave us our dignity back. Pride
a sense of pride, wasn't it? We said the same word at the same time. It was something to be proud of when we needed it.
Like, I thought that was last year, that FA Cup thing.
Two of the greatest clubs in Britain contesting the FA Cup. Everton seeking to become the first club in the history of the game to take the treble, the League Championship, the Cup Winners' Cup in Europe, now the FA Cup at stake.
The treble seemed very doable.
We felt like, you know, who's next? Man United. Fine. Bring them on.
We thought they were invincible.
Do you think you've still got something left for Saturday, Andy?
Watch us go Saturday, Jim. We've got plenty left, believe me.
McGrath. Oh, mistake by McGrath. Everton are through here. Oh! Well, Reid has been brought down by Kevin Moran. Manchester United are going to be reduced to 10 men.
10 men. We'll beat them now.
Whiteside shoots. It's there! Norman Whiteside has done it again.
Hold my hands up. My fault, that.
No, it wasn't Pat's fault, it was my fault. I should have saved it.
Little things. Hit the fucking post and win in.
And Everton's dream of taking an unprecedented treble is over.
I just think we were drained. I for one, was exhausted.
If we had 2 more days, we would have done them all again.
It was a special side. But this would have made us really special. That helped enormously. Because there were no sad faces around. We had the League Championship, we had the Cup Winners' Cup on the bus with us. That helped a lot of us.
We were the best side in Europe, by far. And we'd have been the best side in Europe, by far, for the next 5 years, I think.
I'm afraid the news is very bad from Brussels. Hooliganism has struck again, and I'm afraid the scenes are as bad as anything we've seen for a long, long time.
People shouldn't lose their life going to watch a football match. That is the overriding thought on it.
When you hear this fatalities, that you're thinking,
is this really happening?
In those days, there was a hooligan problem, but I don't think the hooligan problem was just in England or the UK. I think it was throughout Europe.
You can't blame Liverpool Football Club for anything that happened at Heysel. The health and safety was rubbish, the policing was rubbish. It's not up to them to police the ground, it's not up to them to keep your fans in order. That's what the police are for. That's what the stewards are for.
I don't want to talk too much about that. There's still a little bit of a thing there. I don't like to talk about it.
UEFA were going to slam down hard.
UEFA's president, Monsieur Jacques Georges, said all English clubs would be banned from European competition for an indefinite period, which could easily mean 5 years. In addition, there would be further sanctions taken against Liverpool. Drastic steps, said Monsieur Georges, had to be taken to stop the carnage.
Wow. You know, why are we being punished for this?
Well, no, it wasn't fair, was it? We didn't do anything.
No English club is welcome in Europe for the foreseeable future.
The greatest team in our history were banned from the European Cup for a game we did not play in.
It should have been the beginning of the beginning for Everton. It must be something that Everton fans find difficult to come to terms with, because they've been nowhere near it since. Nowhere near it. I'm moving house, unpacking boxes in the new house in Formby, and I saw Howard's car drive up and park outside, and I just turned to my girlfriend at the time and said, don't unpack anything else when I was staying. He said to me, happy? I said, happy? You mad? I said, look what we've just done. I said, love everybody here, and I've got a chance of signing Gary Lineker. I said, so I won't play? He went, no. Do you want me to go? I said to him, okay, I'll go. I'll make life easy for you. I'll go. I was horribly disappointed.
So are you sad when you think about it?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
When Kinnock made that speech in Bournemouth, everything changed.
Implausible promises don't win victories.
From that moment on, you knew that all those local authority leaders, all those people involved in the council were then going to turn away, and they did, and you knew then that you were left on your own.
I'm telling you.
Even to this day, I still bewilder how Neil Kinnock could actually stand up and do that.
I'm telling you, you can't play politics with people's jobs and with people's services.
From then on in, did all of Thatcher's work for her. He made sure that many more houses we could have built were not built. Many more jobs that could be created were not created.
We had the Heysel ban, then we lost the double to our greatest rival.
We were 2 games away from doing the double. In the Oxford game, whereas if we win that game, we win the league.
Oh, we got done. They done us in the league, they beat us in the cup final.
That's enough to snap your morale. Northern service has been resumed, Blues and all that. The Reds are doing this. Well, guess what, boys? Not so much. Here we come back, we take the title back off them. At that point, they started taking us serious.
This time, the championship was won away from home at Carrow Road against Norwich City.
The journey home. That's when I always remember him at his happiest. Sitting in the front of the bus with his cigar and his glass of red wine and with his players around him, because he loved being in the players' company.
Fans paused to remember the life of the former Everton manager Howard Kendall, who died today at the age of 69.
I've been to watch my grandson play in the morning at Formby, and just as I walked in the house, actually, my phone went, and I looked in, and it was Jimmy Martin. I thought, what's he ringing me on a Saturday morning? Because he'll be, you know, match day. It was a good game as well. But so he said, I've got some really bad news. Maury came in and said, don't go to the game this afternoon. I said, oh no, I've got to.
Just coming there thinking, he ain't coming today. You ain't seen him today.
This is a guy who's been an integral part of my life. Not just football, my life.
I said, 2 bottles of champagne, please.
I said, well, I've got to get up. I said, I've got to speak, so I'm not.
But I says, listen, are you telling me our gaffer
would like you not having a drink?
On this day of all days?
Aye. Lauren Perrier always, get her up. come back from Mexico. I'd lost a lot of weight. He called me in the office. He says, "You're not right." I says, "You're right." He opened a can of Guinness. He gave me it. Honestly, he had one. So I'm having this Guinness. He says, "You need to get your strength." And I said, "All right." He said, "Take that with you." So I look around in his little office and there's 3 crates of Guinness stacked there. Needless to say, I took them and I got my strength back.
Loved Everton, and we loved him. To us, he was just the greatest player. He was the greatest manager in our history. More than anything, he was a Blue. Thank you, H, for everything.
We had a little sing-song, and it probably sounded better then than it ever has done.
Singing a song that meant so much to the boss, so it was, yeah, it was quite a fitting evening.
Everton is the best, we all know. We're the team who supreme number 1, and we love you, Everton. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Side by side as we sing along.
There's something unique about Everton. The history grabs you. The smell, the feel of the place, the spirit of the place grabs you. And once it grabs you, it never leaves you.
25 years, I think, I was asked to come back. When I went to the do, there was all these people, loads and loads of people. They mentioned my name for me to go on stage. Well, when they all jumped up after all them years, I just legged it. Left the building for a little while. A bit emotional, to say the least.
Right, thanks.
Put the smile on, eh? Get the old smile on.
Can't be that difficult.
Side by side as we sing along together. E-V-E-R-T-O-N. We're Everton and we'll be Everton forever.
Club and the supporters club and have been lobbying for me to get a cup winners medal. When I look back at my time at Everton, that's the one thing that I always come back to is the love of the people to the players. And I've never felt that anywhere else like I do here.
I was in Dubai a few years ago at Christmas, going to watch Everton play away at Newcastle. 2 Geordies walked in and someone tells me who I am and I'm going, oh, don't. And this Geordie reeled off the Everton team man for man from 84-85. You were the best team I've ever seen, he said.
I think it's really important for the club to realise what makes the club great. It's not the players, it's not the history, it's the people. And the people mean the world to me.
My only regret was my nan couldn't see any of it. She'd passed away, she got me my first football boots because she would have loved that. She would have absolutely loved it.
We're Everton, we'll be Everton forever.
I played for the fans and also the badge. Thank you, Everton.
I've always been a Blue, and when it came to joining a football club, there were several big clubs wanted me, but there was only one that mattered.
When I think of Everton,
I think of Howard Kendall, the greatest manager we've ever had. And I feel incredibly privileged to have knew the man and to have been his friend.